It's not that we're looking for better data. We're looking at continuation of the good data, he said. We have 6 months of good inflation data. The question really is, that 6 months of good inflation data, is it sending us a true signal that we are, in fact, on a path, a sustainable path down to 2% inflation? Some economists have said the Fed will likely feel more confident once it has a full year of inflation data showing a drop toward 2%. That would mark the month of June. Investors began the year thinking the Fed would move much more aggressively and predicted the first cut would happen in March. They had those hopes dashed when Powell essentially took it off the table at his January 31st press conference and in a February 4th appearance on the TV program 60 Minutes. A chorus of other Fed officials also urged patience last week in a series of speeches. Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin said it would be smart for the central bank to take our time on rate cuts despite remarkable data showing that inflation is dropping. Boston Fed President Susan Collins and Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mester also said last week they need to see more to feel confident inflation is heading back to the central bank's 2% target, predicting that would likely happen later this year. Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic told CNN Monday that he expects a cut sometime in the summertime. Shelter prices, which officials are closely watching, contributed to 2/3 of the monthly increase reported Tuesday. At the same time, services excluding shelter prices, which tend to take a while to drop, remain sticky, sitting at 3.6% last month, in line with the 3.5% range over the past couple of months. While CPI didn't show much sign of progress last month, the Fed's preferred inflation measure, the core personal consumption expenditures index that excludes volatile food and energy prices, clocked in at 2.9% for the month of December, showing more improvement than CPI. Officials will get another reading on that gauge at the end of this month. The emphasis on caution by the Fed means the central bank is even more likely to push out any consideration of interest rate cuts until closer to the second half of an election year. That places it on a collision course with figures on both sides of the political divide who are ready to attack Powell if the cuts come too soon or too late for their liking. Those critics include Republican frontrunner Donald Trump, who has said of Powell that it looks to me like he's trying to lower interest rates for the sake of maybe getting people elected. Som told Yahoo Finance Tuesday that it's going to be a painful year for the federal. They're already getting it on all sides. But she said she expects Fed officials to put their heads down and do their job.